Here. I hope you are doing great. I really hope that you guys have been enjoying my joint venture raising capital series on YouTube and that you've been following me on some of my social media channels. If you guys have not, I definitely see the links below. Check out my page on Facebook and Instagram. I'm always posting a lot of really good real world content on there. So today, guys, we are going to talk about 4 real places that you can find joint venture capital partners. Woo! And don't forget, guys, if you like this content and you definitely want to see some more videos like this, please like and subscribe below. Let's get started. So I know that the complaint that I get from everyone, the questions that flood into my social media are always asking, where do you find money partners? And I totally get that. That is half the battle. I'm going to do some more videos later on about how to talk to these partners. I feel like, even if you had a parade of partners come your way, there's still systems and processes to make sure that you're going to close every single one of these partners. So I have some systems and tips and tricks for that I'm going to help you with. However, for those of you that feel confident, you're ready to attack it and go out and find some JV partners, now you just got to find them. Where are these guys or girls at? And that's really tough. It might feel like you're banging your head against a wall. You're talking to a ton of people about real estate and you're just not making traction. So I'm going to give you 4 good spheres of people, like places, I guess, where you can meet them, pools of people that you can start to work on. And I am giving you these spheres, not just because, I'm spinning things out of a book. It's because I have met and gotten JV partners from these places, and they work. That doesn't mean that this is an exhaustive list. I could stay on here for hours and tell you guys every single place you could possibly meet a JV partner, but it's just in spirit that you guys just kind of think outside the box, try something a little different, and don't always listen to like the status quo, Get out there, start talking about real estate. I know there's so many people that say that they're so sick and tired of, everyone thinks I talk about real estate all the time and blah, blah, blah. But I look at it like this, I've gotten joint venture partners from talking to random people in really random situations, like at social events, family functions, things like that, by talking about real estate. The point is, it's how you talk about real estate, and we can get into that in another video, but just to give you guys a summary, keep in mind that you could have some of the best money partners come your way, but you need to know how to talk to them. And the point is that you're not selling them a deal. You can't go from 0 to 100 and expect someone to want to invest with you. Really, you need someone to trust you, to invest in you as a person, and you have to build a rapport. It's a relationship. You might find times when someone wants to just write you a check for a couple $100,000 or, buy a commercial building with you. But I'm going to tell you that 9 times out of 10, it's going to take a couple meetings. It's going to take a few phone calls. It's not going to just happen overnight with one partner, no matter how serious they are. It's relationship building, and you just need to get used to that. So I talk about real estate to everyone, because otherwise, how else are they going to know who I am? How else are they going to know what I do? But I lead with heart. I lead with integrity, with my passion. I don't sell them on numbers and deals and all this kind of stuff. I just give them a sense of who I am as a person. And then the nitty-gritty conversations come a little later down the road, but I set the framework. Otherwise, like I said, it's how else would they know that I invest with partners if I don't talk to them about real estate? And if people get annoyed and they think it's they always talk about real estate, then just don't talk to those people about real estate. They're clearly never going to invest with you anyway, if it's just family and friends and stuff. But for the most part, don't be afraid to just strike up conversations about real estate. And you can do it in a really non-spammy, non-salesy way, because that's not what this is about. I digress. Let's get back to the topic of the video for the day. These are 4 concrete spheres of individuals that you can target today to start building this rapport. You might not get a deal out of it right away, guys. And this is one thing, like, I know you're not gonna like what I have to say right now, but JV partners don't just like follow the sky overnight. This is a process. This takes time. It might take you a year, it might take you 6 months before you get your first JV partner, but you got to do the right things, and you got to do them consistently and repetitively. Keep in mind that the best athletes in the world are not necessarily always the most talented. It's because they have created a life of repetition and excellence. So they commit themselves to practicing the same things every single day, year after year, and then they win an Olympic medal. It's not to say that they're not talented at what they do, but keep in mind, guys, that it's all a numbers game. If you keep doing this, the right skills, and practice them day in and day out, statistically speaking, you are going to get the right results. Doing the wrong things repetitively is the definition of insanity. But if you know you're following proven models, proven methods, and it's just not happening, that's okay. If you're getting feedback and you know you're doing the right things, just keep going, like keep trying, like the results will come. These are people, these are computers. It takes time to build relationships with people, right? So that's why I always say start with sphere number 1, and that is family and friends. I know a lot of you are just cringing right now. You're thinking, oh my God, no, like I'm going to talk to Aunt Cheryl again about, yada yada at the next family barbecue, and she's just going to shut me down and tell me why real estate sucks and whatever, the market's going to crash. My parents don't want to hear about it. They think I'm insane. I know it can get really uncomfortable. I look at it like this. There are going to be some family members that do believe in you. Friends of friends. And eventually they're going to see that what you're doing works. I'm talking probably about the people that are just getting started and they might not understand real estate investing, they might understand the benefits of it, and they might never, and that's okay. Don't let those people shut you down. Because the good part is when you go to some family functions or some events and you're just getting started, your friends and family are a good, safe way for you to, at worst, practice. Practice your elevator pitches. Practice talking about real estate in a constructive, relationship building way without being salesy and overwhelming them. You never know, because I know that in the beginning when I first started, I thought that my family would never reach out to me, that they never want to invest with me. Now I have my aunt and uncle wanting to lend me money. I have a couple cousins that are interested. Not everybody agrees, not everyone's on board, but they're warming up. Like they're starting to come around, right? And again, this is the thing about JVs. You never burn bridges. It might take 5 years before you see a deal from that particular person, but they'll remember you and they'll remember what's happening. They'll see the stuff that you're doing. And if they, believe in it, they will come around. They will come back. So it's all like a cycle. You got to just keep pushing. You never know where your next partner and where your next deal is going to come from. So I'm not saying spam your friends and family. Don't harass them. But just bring it up. Next time you're over for dinner, like a Thanksgiving thing, maybe not at the dinner table because no one likes that, but if you're chit-chatting with some neighbors and people coming over and different extended family members, don't be shy. Don't be afraid to say, hey, I'm a real estate investor. What? You're a real estate investor? Since when? You can tell them what you're doing, what you're working on, the seminars you've been attending, the books you've been reading, the friends that are doing incredible things, and the different awesome people in your network. It's good to just you got to start from somewhere, right? And this is a good place to practice and to show the people close to you what is going on in your life, and it ripples out, right? Because the other reason why I like this is because it opens up a secondary sphere for you, and that is friends of friends and colleagues and beyond. So now, say, Aunt Cheryl isn't really on board. Maybe she likes you a lot. Maybe she thinks it's cool, but she's like, nah, not really my scene. but she's rooting for you. She watches all of your, stuff on social media. Maybe you write a blog or something. She is like the perfect person to approach to say, you know what? Hey, Aunt Cheryl, I know real estate investing really isn't your thing, but I know you're really supportive of what I do. How would you feel about talking to some of your friends about it, referring me? I have a little postcard, a business card, a newsletter. Would you feel comfortable passing it out to your dentist, your doctor, people in your neighborhood? Maybe you get together for like a reading group every month, and some people that have retired that might have some capital to play with. And Cheryl, she likes you, right? She's probably going to at least pass out a few of your business cards. Now, is this going to get you a ton of real estate leads? Hard to say, but it has worked for me, guys. There have been times when I have gone to functions with like extended friends and extended family that don't know me very well, like they know my face. And, we get chit-chatting. They find out what I do, and all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, like I have a student rental, or I've been thinking about investing, and like, this is great. Like, let's catch up. I'd love to hear more about this. And it just snowballs from there. It's all about opening doors. You can't shut out a sphere of your life of people that are around you just because you're not comfortable with it, or just because you think they won't like it, or they're just not on board. There's still really constructive ways that you can use these spheres to like piggyback off of the others to just get you into different circles. That's the whole point of this. And the coolest part about, these 1 and 2 level spheres of people that kind of know you, or maybe are close friends or family, are referring you to other like groups. It's the fact that you aren't a cold lead. You are someone that like they can build a rapport with. They're like, oh, like you're the nephew or niece of so-and-so. That's awesome. They love so-and-so. So of course, like they're going to feel like positive, like they're going to kind of gravitate towards liking you right off the bat without you even having to do a thing. So I highly recommend, guys. I know this is probably like the most uncomfortable of the first 2 spheres, because sphere 1, friends and family, sphere 2, colleagues, referrals, friends of friends, and beyond. Again, guys, I know this is like super awkward. You do not like asking friends and family for help. You don't always like talking about real estate around them because maybe they don't want to hear it. But I'm telling you, they can springboard you to bigger and better things. And you never know. If you haven't talked to, Uncle so-and-so in such a long time, and maybe the last time they saw you, you were like yay tall. And all of a sudden you think, oh, they're going to think I'm just a little kid. But it's like, oh, you know what? I've been thinking about downsizing lately. I only owe like $30,000 left on my house. It's basically mortgage free. I'm trying to decide what to do with the home. Maybe you can give me some advice on it. I get that a lot from family members, like tons. They're not always right out the gate saying, hey, I want to invest with you, but they're asking me for a lot of practical real estate advice, which again, you guys have to remember that like when you're building relationships and you're trying to convince people to work with you, you got to give them some sort of value. You got to show that you're knowledgeable. The conversation isn't like, hey, I invest in real estate, give me some money. You got to show them something. You got to give them some sort of value. So if it takes me, going out to Uncle so-and-so's house and, looking at it, telling him what I think it might be worth, a couple options he can use. Maybe he uses it for like a student rental, or he could refinance and like whatever I think you should do with it. That's a great springboard. Say he does it, makes a little bit of money. Hey, Sarah, thanks. This is so great. I'm really, glad that you gave me this advice. And it's like, well, hey, Uncle so-and-so, I've been thinking. I'm looking at a couple different projects in like such and such city. I know now you've downsized, you have a little bit of equity or cash. What would you think about, partnering with me on a project? Or, if he says no, well, how would you feel about, kind of handing out my business cards to like some of your friends and people? He's likely going to say yes. So I'm just giving you guys some different ideas. I know they might not be super popular, might not be super comfortable, but trying to push you guys outside your comfort zone. Another way that you can target friends and family and this kind of like sphere idea is through social media and email. Sometimes I know it's hard because maybe you're not always face to face with your family if you live far away, or again, like sometimes it just is uncomfortable. Maybe it's not your thing, and I get that. I can't make you. But now if you are, pretty savvy, maybe you want to start your own YouTube channel, or you want to start a blog, a Facebook, business page, something just to show the world like, hey guys, I believe in what I do. I'm a real estate investor. You can actually start to send out like informational emails, newsletters, little videos to kind of catch people up. That you can blast out to your family, because let me tell you that like Aunt Linda and your cousins from, out west, like they're for sure going to probably at least want to snoop in on what you're doing. And the cool part is getting an email list from your friends and family is super easy, because all you have to do is like say, hey, like, do you mind like adding some of your friends on this list if you think it might be helpful to them? Can you forward this to so-and-so? And you kind of just like start to like gently like test the water, start to send out some of these newsletters, webinars, like whatever you think like is your strong suit, go for it, because it is going to, number one, establish you as an expert in your field, which is real estate and whatever, you're doing within that realm. And they get to see your face. Like say you just started sending out little video newsletters, and it's like updates on different projects you're working on and why you think a particular strategy is helpful. You want to talk about RSP mortgages, anything cool. You put it on social media, send it out to your friends and family, get them to kind of like spread, especially if people are giving out your business cards. Now you have some other professional contacts on this list. Guys, it can be super, super powerful. So remember, it's not always comfortable, bringing this stuff up with your closest sphere, but you have to think about the connections, the little dots that can really flesh this out and bring, these bigger spheres into like your sphere one. All it takes is one phone call. All it takes is one meeting. And all of a sudden, you know this person, you've sat down with them face to face, and then you ask for referrals from them and like their sphere, and like it just balloons. Let me tell you guys, it was tough getting my first couple money partners. It was so tough. I was doing meetings. I didn't always know what to say. Like, honestly, I wish I had a resource like this for getting started, because I did a lot of trial and error. Probably took me a little longer than it should have. But the coolest part is, because I'm doing this and I'm being vocal about it and I'm reaching out to people, my spheres have now, tripled because of all the connections that I've made. And now money partners are coming out of just, unexpected great places, just because I put myself in situations. You build bridges, you don't burn them. All right, guys, so we're going to talk about technically now number 3, the third sphere. So your third sphere are random people that don't know who you are. And there are a lot of people that are against this in terms of money partners. They're like, nah, you can't trust these people. You don't really know them. But I would say, for me personally, most of my money partners have come from just being complete strangers, which is super weird. It's not always like that for everyone, but it just is what has worked for me to get started, at least. So I am a huge fan of networking groups. I'm a part of like 4 or 5 of them. I attend regularly. I even speak at some of them, which has been a huge help. I encourage you guys. Networking can be so intimidating, and I get that. I'm actually, believe it or not, a little bit of an introvert, and so going up to random people at networking events is super scary. Sometimes I actually really don't like it. But when I started speaking, I'm a good natural public speaker. And that was a great facilitator, because then I had people coming to me to ask me about JVs. And then it's a little more like organic. It's not as like awkward and weird. So if you ever have opportunities to go up, speak at networking events, be part of some more like local, like niched areas, highly recommend it. It's great. But yeah, I'm sorry to say, guys, but networking is super, super important, and networking groups are where I've gotten the majority of my money partners, because when you think about it, you're really coming into a group of like-minded people. You've already done half your screening. Unlike your friends and family, who might not understand real estate investing, they might not believe in it. People at real estate networking events are there because they either know about real estate, they're already investing, or they want to learn. You've already done half the battle, half the research. Now all you have to do is figure out, what is their end goals? Can you guys, create like a mutually beneficial situation and partnership, which is pretty easy to find out within, 5 to 10 minutes of conversation with them is a pretty low investment for what you could potentially get. But it's great because you're in front of an entire room of people, or just schmoozing with people that are already in your headspace. They get real estate, they love it. It's easy. You don't have to convince them to like real estate investing. You just have to convince them to work with you. And that's why I said I'm going to do some other videos too, guys, about how to speak to them, different scripts that I use, developing that 30-second elevator pitch that really gets them intrigued and wanting to talk to you, etc., etc. But that's, again, as long as you guys just know that going out and trying to just network at networking events is super, super helpful. And if you feel like you're frustrated and it's not getting you anywhere, please don't give up. I felt that way too, I promise you. And it took a bit of time because I wasn't saying the right things. I wasn't presenting myself in a position of expertise or authority. You got to go into these networking events being I'm a real estate investor. I might have stuff to learn, but I want to partner with you and give me your money kind of thing. You gotta put yourself in those situations. And networking events are great. Different sort of property tours, joining organizations. There's so many of them. I could give you a whole list for ones in Ontario, but I know there's tons in the States. There's tons across Canada. Get involved. The more people you get in front of, the more like-minded real estate people you connect with. You just never know. I've gotten private property deals, joint venture deals, side hustles, wholesale deals, you name it. Great realtors, awesome contractor referrals and contacts. It's more than just JVs. I know I'm kind of pumping networking events right now, but guys, it's super, super important. And I think it will give you education. It gives you motivation to get out and see what everybody else is doing. So I just highly, highly recommend it. Again, I think it's important to practice how you approach people at networking events and to come up with a strategy. It will make you feel more confident. If you know how to approach people and you know what you're going to say to them, how you're going to present yourself, what you're going to say in your pitch, who you're going to target, how you're going to talk to them, how you can maximize your time at networking events. I think that's really important, especially for people that get intimidated in crowds. You don't know what to say. It's a little intimidating. I will do a YouTube video on that, I promise. But I want to just throw it out there as, another avenue for you guys. Because I have gotten more than several, plus referrals, from networking events. So also now touching on this idea of this sphere of people you don't know. Another way you can kind of tap into that is through, again, these emails, social media, things like that. Technically, it's kind of touching into number 4. So I'll leave that for the 4th. But keep in mind, guys, number 3, networking events. Go meet like-minded people because they're going to know people who might want your deal, and you can sell them on, they're like, oh, you do student rentals? Great. You know what? I actually know a buddy. He invested a ton of them. He was looking to get into it. Let me get you in touch with him. It can literally be as simple as that. You guys have got to get clear on your message, and it can really, really work for you, I promise. So number 4, it also touches on the sphere of people that you actually don't know at all, but this is kind of I would call it a bonus sphere of random ways of connecting with people. It is something a lot of people don't think about, and a way that I have actually accelerated my ability to get money partners. You listening? I've accelerated, doubled my ability to get money partners through this, okay? One way is through Kijiji. Sounds insane. Number 2 is through my videos and now my social media. So I have actually doubled 50% more money partners ever since I started doing this YouTube channel. The whole point of this YouTube channel, by the way, was not to get more money partners. I actually feel really passionate about giving back to you guys and coaching, and inadvertently on my social media, I've gotten so many people saying, hey, we love your content. This is great. I want a bit more help on this. Also, I have a project in, whatever city. Would you be interested in doing a partnership with me? So it's had some unexpected, amazing results. And I think it just comes down to the idea that I talked about earlier. This is on a global platform, right? I post on Insta, on Facebook, now on YouTube, and I'm sharing it all over the place. I'm really establishing myself as an expert in joint venturing, in raising capital and things like that. And I'm by no means a mastermind. I am pretty humble. I still think I have, a ton to learn in the world of real estate. But because I'm out there and my face is out there and I'm, putting my life out for the world to see, people see who I am and what I'm about. And it kind of already eliminates that idea of them getting to know me. It's like, well, they watch some of my videos, they see what I post, they see what I've done, and they're like, cool, she seems awesome. Like, let's invest in real estate with her. I've already beat that initial conversation. I have to sit and convince them to work with me. They're coming to me saying, hey, you look cool. I like what you do. I want to work with you. So I'm a huge advocate for social media. Whatever you guys are comfortable with. It doesn't have to be on video. I get that is not for everyone. But if you guys, love writing, you want to write a blog, you have a website, you want to do a podcast. I mean, there's just so many ways you guys can establish this level of expertise and kind of warm up some of your potential prospects without them ever even needing to talk to you one-on-one. Then they're going to be wanting to reach out to you, which is the best situation for you to be in. It's passive, and you get to choose. The Kijiji thing, I'll just give you guys a quick little thing. It's actually so funny. One of my best joint venture partners came from Kijiji because I went to see a private deal. I saw this property pop up in Brantford. This a few years ago. And it was a student rental, looked like a good price, whatever. I went and checked it out. Wasn't gonna work for me and my other money partner, but I started chatting with the guy, and turned out that he had just this was his last house. He just sold off his entire student rental portfolio. He was retiring, didn't want anything to do with it anymore. And I was like, oh, I'm actually, I work with money partners and yada yada yada. And he was kind of like, oh, well, you know what? He's like, I have some capital to play around with, so I wouldn't mind getting back into it on more of a private money lender type of relationship where I'm just not managing the properties or doing anything with it. I just want my return. And lo and behold, he and I had a couple of phone calls, and again, he's one of my largest private money lenders to this day. And he's given me so many referrals, so many private pocket deals. He's been a blessing in my life. And all because of a random private Kijiji ad that I saw. So I was kind of I wonder if this is a thing. So I actually make it my mission every single week to troll on Kijiji. I'm not just looking for private deals anymore. A lot of these houses, I don't even they're in cities that don't interest me, cap rates, I don't like the price, whatever the case is. But what I'm interested is in developing a relationship with whoever's selling the property. Likely they're a real estate investor, but so is my private lender. You just don't know what their situation is. Maybe they're capped out of their own capital. Maybe they're cool working with another investor. Maybe they're hey, I can hold a mortgage, I need some extra capital. We join together on just one deal. It doesn't matter. The point is, you don't know who's selling real estate. I mean, unless they're a realtor, on Kijiji. And I have had some fantastic conversations, got some amazing leads from people. So I know I'm giving you guys kind of my top secret thing, but don't be afraid to reach out to random stuff. Come free, property guys, all of these different websites that are for sale by owner and things like that. You just never know. Keep in mind, guys, that one of the top ways to buy multi or commercial real estate is using vendor takebacks. So I'm one of those people, like, I'm never afraid to like ask for a deal. So the cool part is, like, by approaching a private seller that's not being represented by a realtor, you know, you can always go for the like, would you consider like seller financing? Sometimes they're like, no, but oftentimes they're really open to that conversation. But if you're not like actively reaching out to private sellers, then you're never gonna like come into these opportunities. And I've even had situations where I have bought privately from someone and then they wanted to do like another deal with me on another property in their portfolio, because like a lot of these guys have like a ton of real estate, and you know, you might not like that one property they have for sale. Ask them if they have another. Ask them if they'd be open to future deals together. Tell them what you're doing. Say, hey, cool, like this is what I'm about. Would you be interested? You're putting yourself out there. There's nothing to lose and everything to gain. So anyways, guys, I hope that you found this video informative and helpful. I know it's a little outside the box, and I know it is definitely not a quick fix. It is not a quick solution. This is not like you wave a magic wand and you're just gonna have like JV partners falling out of the sky. It takes time. Like even the stuff I'm talking about Kijiji, I have to message them and call them and see some properties and things like that. It takes work and it takes time. But overall, I promise you the benefit of going to networking events, reaching out uncomfortably to your family, asking for referrals, you know, talking to some people on Kijiji and posting on social media. Overall, as a whole, if you're working every one of these circles, I promise you that statistically speaking, you will get at least one money partner. It's impossible to not get at least one money partner just following, like, I'm not even giving you like my full system. This is just basics on like how to talk to them and where to find some everyday money partners. So I hope this is super helpful. Again, I'm always open to suggestions for new topics, guys. I love talking about this stuff with you, and I'm here to help. If you have questions, my business email is below. You want some coaching, some help on how to talk to these joint venture partners and how to like seal the deal every time and really make it like a streamlined process, I can definitely coach you through that and give you guys some guidance. And again, if you like these videos, please like and subscribe below. It really helps keep the momentum going, and I'll continue to be posting all my awesome content on my social media, so please give that a follow as well. All right, guys, I will see you soon, and we will be doing another awesome topic, and we might even be doing a surprise visit from my partner, Justin, who will be doing something on confidence in public speaking and mindfulness, and a little bit of cool stuff to